Good morning, your Saltwater Guide fans. Thanks for joining us today. You got Justin Botrell and Dave Hansen and Madden hanging out, and Marley. It's going to be a great show this morning. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Nice. You're like a little puppet, huh, Madden?
I know.
Yeah, wave to everybody. Woo! And little Marley's just hanging out here, loving being on the show. Gang, it's Colder Ice Saturday. We do fish reports on Saturday. We let you call in, talk about what you caught. I know we got quite a few members that went fishing yesterday on the Clemente out of Dana Wharf in the halibut derby. So John Stanley, I know he's going to be calling in around 9:30. Pablo's going to call in, let us know what's going on there at Mission Bay out there in La Jolla, that big yellowtail bite. But oh my goodness, gang. Justin and I were talking last night and a little bit this morning. Hang on to your hats, gang. You might want to change your plans for opening rockfish on Tuesday. It is going to be very, very scary out there. You don't want to be involved in it. It's not going to be fun by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see what Tuesday looks like for a minute here. I got a picture I think I saved. Let's see. Is this Tuesday? No, that's Wednesday. That's Tuesday morning. Look at that.
Wow, look at how calm that is.
Only 24 knots at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's it?
Opening day of Rock Cod, gang. Every year it does this to us. So if you had plans to go rockfish fishing opening day, what do you think, Justin?
Absolutely go. No, I'm kidding. Don't go anytime next week. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be
goodness.
Absolutely horrible.
It's pretty crazy looking the weather out there. And then, gang, hopefully all of you got the email this morning. I sent Elliot helped me, and we sent a mass email out to everybody. The Fish and Game Commission meeting on the 16th and 17th. We sent that email out to everybody. We got to be involved, just like last time. It's going to be super important to be involved in this process because we don't want to grow up somewhere where Madden can't go fishing when he's gets a little older and he gets into it big time like his brother, Rylan. Right, Matt?
Like his brother. So Madden, what are we doing right after this show?
Going fishing.
Yeah, buddy.
Whose idea was it? Who wanted to do this?
Yours.
Me? What? Are you kidding me? We woke up this morning and all he said is, "Can we go to the boat and go fishing? Can we go to the boat and go fishing?"
Yeah.
Oh, great, Madden. Well, if everybody helps us and gets involved, Madden, hopefully we can keep fishing open, but it's going to be up to us. We the people, gang.
Mm-hmm.
The Fish and Game Commission meeting is right there on the screen, the QR code. If you did not get the email, if you don't find it in your spam or find it somewhere, go ahead and give me a call, text message me, let me know, and we will get you this email for the Fish and Game Commission meeting on the 16th and 17th. The agenda is gigantic, and we want to be involved in every single aspect of this meeting, gang. It's we the people. The days of letting these people just steamroll us. There's 5 people involved in this process. You guys have seen them now. We've pulled the curtain back. We're all seeing what's going on. So if we, the people, get involved, it's going to be really hard for them to keep shutting down the ocean. So we're all going to be there for that meeting. If you look, there's so many different things on the agenda, things that will affect Madden and Rylan when they want to go hunting with their dad. They won't be able to go deer hunting anymore. When they want to go trout fishing, they won't be able to do that. When they want to go enjoy the California coastline, they won't be able to do that. There's so many things that are on the agenda this time around, you guys. And then the number one, the hot topic about this, the sand bass. They have not made the final decision. Hopefully this meeting, they'll make the final decision. But if you wade through this commission meeting and the agenda and all the different things that are going on out there, you'll start to see what I'm talking about. It's absolutely amazing the amount of things on this agenda. So it's going to be very important for us to all be involved and all pay attention to what's going on, because everything that's on this agenda will affect you in one way or another. And to just allow these people to do this stuff, we can't do that anymore. Those days are long gone. Hi, Lisa. Good morning. If you would like to call in this morning and talk to everybody about your great experience on the Clemente yesterday with all the great members, give us a call. Let us know. It's colder ice Saturday morning fish report. And gang, colder ice is a phenomenal product. I got a great little commercial I'll show you guys a little bit later in the show. Chris is one of our members, and he developed this product, and we all saw it at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, right, Justin? It's amazing how it makes the ice colder, right?
Really,
Madden?
really impressive. Really impressive. It dropped at like 20 degrees. It got down, I think, to 14 or 12 or something like that. It was crazy.
And what was really funny is the next morning when you and I came in, you're like, look, Dave, it made the water bottles in our bag frozen rock solid.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Madden ran away.
All right, Madden. He's got to get ready. He's going to go fishing. We've got to go get ready to go fishing today.
He mentioned it yesterday, and then this morning, that's all he talks about. Let's go fishing. Let's go fishing. Is that all right? Let me do the live show, then we'll leave.
Nothing better than that, right, Dad?
Absolutely.
So what do you think? It's pretty crazy what's going on with the weather, right?
Absolutely crazy. I don't know what's going on. There's a big, I don't know if that was a hurricane or whatnot that's hitting Northern California right now, but it's so big. Everyone knows how long California is. Super long. It's all the way from the top and pushing all the way down. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know the terms of it or anything, but it looks like a hurricane if you look it up on Windy. Or if you look it up on like the Weather Channel, it's absolutely crazy. But it's bringing a phenomenal amount of northern water down here, which is going to be colder. So right now the water temperature, when I was out a few days ago, it was 55 degrees and then 56 in some areas. And now it's probably going to get down to 50, 52. That's pretty cool.
Woo!
And you're going to hear a whole bunch of people freaking out because all we have is anchovies.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Well, you were at Catalina on Wednesday. Or what day were you there?
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Yeah, with Paul. You guys had fun fishing. Sheephead fishing was pretty incredible,
so
right?
It was a little struggle at first. Well, it depends what you call struggle, right? If you go 7 hours and catch one fish, that's a struggle. But to me, a struggle is going 10 minutes without catching one fish. That's kind of a struggle for me. I don't know. My OCD kicks in and I'm like, I got to do something. So the first stop we had at Catalina, which is on the game plan where I was, we caught a sheephead first, then we caught a white sea bass. We caught another sheep's head. We caught some of those big giant mackerels. I call them pelagic mackerels because they're gigantic. And that was about it. It wasn't what I wanted to see. So the current changed, everything just turned off. And I decided to make a long run down to one of my spots that produces all the time. So we went down there and found the right current, and it was game on right away, and then it slowed down. And then it was picks here and there of calico bass. There's barracuda, sheep's head, perch, yellowfin croaker. So it was kind of a pick of everything right there. It wasn't wide open, like some people would say. Every single bait that we threw in was a bite, so that was pretty good.
Yeah. And then when we went live on our Bill and I on the podcast, you guys started whaling on some other fish,
so
right?
We moved when Dave and Bill Varney went live. We moved to another area, which is on the Hotspots videos that Dave puts out. And so the current in this area was going a certain way at first, and as soon as I anchored, the boat was just sitting awkward, and our baits were going the wrong way. So I was like, "Dang, man, this kind of sucks. We didn't get a single bite. We didn't get anything. We got little picks from like whitefish or small little perch." So I was like, "Man, we have to go around the corner there, because right around the corner, the current, the way it's going, is gonna put the back of the boat right at that corner, and that's where the fish are gonna be. Because if you ever listen to what Dave tells you, the fish, whenever the current is going, the bigger fish have their nose facing the current, which way it's going. So if it's going from north to south, the fish are going to be facing north and be sitting there in the very front. The bigger fish are. So I was thinking, man, we have to go over there. And I told Paul and deckhand Ryland, hey, we need to pick up and move anchor again. And they're like, okay, because they know the whole routine. We anchor 1,400,000 times. So we moved to that spot. And sure as poop, as soon as we anchored, we threw chum out, and every barracuda in the whole ocean, it seemed like, was over there. Started jumping and flipping and jumping here, and calico bass started flipping around. It was a big old whole giant show. We had 2 bald eagles flying overhead. It was pretty incredible, absolutely incredible. We had perch come to the back of the boat. I put out Captain Al's chum tube in the back. We started chumming that up really quick. All the perch and everything started coming up. We had calico bass swimming in the chum line. And I was all, wow, this is what I'm talking about. Finally, we found a spot. It only took us half the day to find it. And it's game on. So every single bait we threw in the water was a bite. And there's something else that happened when we were there, which I'll share with the Your Saltwater Guide community, not on here. Rylan, lucky son of a biscuit, he was catching fish left and right. I'm going to try this. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. Boom, he'd catch a fish. I was all, really? Like, what the heck? So we were trying fly lining anchovies. We tried squid strips at the bottom, and Ryland's over here like, I'm going to try this. So Ryland found a cool little technique, which I've never seen happen before, where we were catching big, like 5+ pound sheep's head every single cast. It was absolutely crazy. The craziest thing I've ever seen. So we limited out on sheep's head in about 10 minutes, and all big ones. It was absolutely crazy. And yeah, a lot of fun. Some really close to legal sized barracuda. There's a lot of barracuda right now. So what that tells me is there's a ton of anchovies in the water, because barracuda love anchovies. And the water is getting in that cold water, our normal cold water cycle. Because whenever the barracuda start fluctuating in here, so do a whole bunch of other big fish.
Yeah, the thing I thought was so interesting, and like you were saying, you guys once again were blessed with the anchovies for bait, which we've got to get this mentality out of most of your heads, where you think you sit down on your tackle box when you pull up to the bait barge and you start sucking your thumb because they don't have any giant sardines. And you're like, one thing we'll share with you is the technique that Ryland was using and Justin was blown away with, and so was I when I heard the story, but it makes all the sense in the world. The key to the whole thing was the anchovy, and then we won't tell you what, because you need to go over to the community and see what the heck we're talking about. But once again, like I've shared back when I did all the reports for 976, and when I did all the reports for Fish Dope, and when I do all the reports for us now, anchovies are the key to this whole thing, gang. And in the puzzle, one of the main puzzle pieces in Southern California, the anchovy is back, and it's back full speed, and we need to embrace it, and we need to be happy about it, and we need to quit complaining when we pull up to the bait barge, because the reason why they're catching that 7 to 8 inch sardine is because of you guys whining and whimpering and complaining because there's no sardines at the bait barge. Those 7 to 8 inch sardines, you know what they allow you to do? Get a whole bunch of nibbles. You get a bunch of nibbles. Hey, there he is. The man, the myth, the legend that I refused to fly line Ryland.
Maybe, right?
Heard you had a heck of a day on Wednesday.
I mean, it's just a technique. Want to have Ryland share what he did to catch 1 million sheep's head, big ones?
Now that we have Ryland here, I think it would be perfect. Are you ready to talk, Ryland, or are you too tired?
He was up all night hanging out with his buddies.
You don't know?
So what was when we went out the other day with Paul, what was the technique that you taught us older guys how to catch a whole bunch of giant sheephead?
Anchovies.
How? It's called double dropper loop.
Yeah, you do.
They're listening to you.
Double dropper loop anchovies.
You gotta go. Wait, talk.
Whoa. You can't just drop that bomb on us and split. Explain.
How'd you figure that out?
I don't know.
You just decided.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
You don't know? You don't want to talk or anything?
Squid wasn't
Madden
working.
was a lot more fun than you. He talked a lot more.
Squid wasn't working though, so I just chose the anchovy while they kept using squid and other stuff.
And then what happened?
And then and then we hooked a big sheep's head.
And it was like every single bait after that was a big sheep's head on.
Yeah.
Hey, your buddy Pablo says hi, Rylan.
Hi.
You like Pablo, huh? Because you're as tall as he is.
So yeah, I don't know, are you tired or what?
No.
Oh, then what's wrong?
I don't know.
Can you?
Are you going?
He wears this
today,
shirt
Rylan?
to school. Oh, hold on, how you going? So.
What does it say?
6.5 Creedmoor.
A bullet
What's Creedmoor?
with a
Type of
bullet.
gun.
I'll tell him.
Type of gun.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay. We won't
right.
talk about that
You're
anymore.
having
We don't
your
want to get
knucklehead.
taken down and demonetized. All right, gang. Well,
So that's what Rylan did. Rylan
John
decided that what? Rylan decided that he was going to try different techniques because what we were doing was not working, which is the normal thing that works. So what he did is he dropped down hey, Moose, our dog's going to knock over everything. So
Drop down one.
he dropped down a sardine on a double dropper loop, or an anchovy on a double dropper loop, and it was instant big sheep's head. Absolutely crazy. Wide open big sheep's head. So that was pretty impressive at what he did.
yeah, it was. And it's about the anchovy, gang. It's about the anchovy. Like I say all the time on our website, you know what eats anchovies? Everything.
Even people on pizza.
Everything. Even people on pizza. That's what the bait company used to tell me every morning when I'd pull up to the barge. I'd go, "You got any anchovies?" They said, "They're on your pizza, Hanson." But the reason most bait barges carry that big giant sardine is because you guys, they get tired of listening to you complain when you pull up to the bait barge. I know it works great on the boats that go offshore bluefin fishing, but we got to think about us that are trying to catch fish day in and day out with our children and our spouses and our friends. Anchovies are the key to this machine. And cold water cycle, anchovies, barracuda, bonita bass, yellowtail, big sheep's head, calico bass, all that stuff. It's a game changer. And Jason Cutter, if you have a few minutes, you can call in right after this. I want to show you guys this little commercial Chris and I put together for Colder Ice. Colder Ice is a phenomenal product, gang. You should all have it in your tackle box. It's really spectacular how it works. Those of you that came to the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, you saw us showing everybody how it worked real time. Put the ice in the ice chest, put the thermometer in there, let the thermometer get down to 34 degrees. Chris would sprinkle the colder ice in there, and then we'd set while I was talking and watch the temperature drop 20 degrees. Check this little video out, and we'll get right back to the show. Colderice.com. This will make your ice colder. I cannot believe that it actually works, but we showed everybody at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival live on stage. We would sprinkle this into the Deckhand Sports kill bag on top of our ice, put the thermometer in there, and watch the ice go from 34 degrees down to 14 degrees while I was live doing my show or doing my seminars at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show. Colder Ice is an incredible product. You can order this at the end of the video with the QR code, or you can go to colderice.com. And this product needs to be in every tackle box and on every boat. It makes the ice colder. Actually, we had water bottles in our kill bag at the show that actually froze because of this product. Colder Ice is an incredible product that will drop your ice up to 20 degrees. Colderice.com. Check it out.
That water bottle thing that Dave just said on that commercial, that is 100% true. And here's what happened. We came in there on, I think it was Saturday morning. And I was like, dang, I'm thirsty. I'm going to grab a water. So I opened up the kill bag and I went to grab a water, and the doggone thing was frozen. I was like, what? And I looked over at, I don't know who was standing there, Rylan or someone. I was like, hey, did someone put frozen waters in here? And they're all like, no. I'm like, dude, there's frozen waters in here. So I grabbed another one, and there's one, you know how it gets barely frozen? You crack it and all the ice breaks. There was one like that was in there. So then Dave comes up, and I'm all, Dave, look at this. And I threw him a water bottle, and he's all, it's frozen. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's freaking frozen. Who froze these things? So then I went to go taste it, and I was like, oh, that's what it was. The colder ice was in there, and it froze everything. Everything is frozen. It's pretty funny.
So unbelievable. And then we asked Chris, and he's all, absolutely, it happens all the time. The thing about your fish gang is we got to keep our fish as fresh as we possibly can when we're out there fishing. So to think that you can extend the length of the life of your ice by simply sprinkling this product on top of your ice. And then what I was showing everybody, Justin, and you guys were laughing so hard, I was eating it on stage. I was eating this product on stage to show you that it's non-toxic. I don't know if that's a good example for me to eat it to show you it's non-toxic, but yeah, it was working out really well. That the product is incredible. The price point is unbelievable. $7. You get one of these little cups for $7 that are gonna, I think you can use it 4 times on one of the smaller kill bags and 2 times on the bigger kill bags, the Deckhand Sports kill bags, and then I think 4 times in the Deckhand Sports air coffin. One little cup that you just saw on the show, on the commercial. Yeah. So check it out. Go to colderice.com and check it all out. And now let's go back to this whole fishing thing. Justin, when you would sit on the edge of that kelp and just throw a scoop of that anchovy in the water, wasn't that fun just to see all the fish just going bananas?
Yeah, it was absolutely unreal. And the whole water, the whole top of the water, especially when it's glass like that, it would light up. You would just hear splash, splash, splash. You'd look over, there's boils happening over here. You look over here, there's boils happening over here. In case you don't know what people don't know what a boil is, that's when a bigger fish is chasing the bait fish, anchovy, and makes a splash on top of the water chasing after it. But there was barracuda jumping and flipping out of the water. There's calico bass smacking the top of the water. One time I seen one roll, but I think it was actually one of those pelagic mackerels. But I thought it was yellowtail, but I think it was one of those mackerel, because mackerel do the same type of thing. But the water would light up. We call it brailing. So you'll hear Dave say, hey, brail a scoop out there. Brailing a scoop means you just scoop some bait up in your net, in your Promar net, and you just chuck it out there. That's brailing a scoop. So we were throwing a scoop of bait out there, and holy heck would break loose. Everything would just go, the whole water would just go absolutely crazy. What was really weird, though, was if we didn't brail any bait out there and we just threw an anchovy, we would just sit there and wait for a bite. But if we brailed the scoop out there and threw an anchovy, it was instant, right now, hookup. And what's great about using the anchovies compared to the sardines is you have a 15-inch or 16-inch calico bass chasing a sardine. What they're going to do is they're going to grab the sardine by the tail, okay? And they're going to start chewing on it and swim around with it because it's a 6 or 7-inch sardine. They're going to start chewing on it and then eventually swallow it. So you'll see us when we're out there, we're waiting after we're bit, and we count to 5 or count to 10 and let it run out further. Well, with an anchovy, you don't have to do any of that. It doesn't matter if it's a 6-inch or 8-inch calico bass. They're inhaling that anchovy immediately. There's no wait. As soon as they bite it, you set the hook, you're done. You're already hooked up. You don't have to wait and end up running into the kelp and losing your fish every time. You don't have to do any of that with an anchovy. As soon as you get bit, you set the hook, you're on. It's pretty cool.
No, it's the best. And the more you feed them, the better they bite. And it was so fun when Justin would throw a scoop of bait over the side. Then all of a sudden you'd hear him and Paul and Rylan, look at the barracuda, look at the barracuda, calico bass, barracudas. It was so fun to watch and listen to and just see the reaction. It's been a while since we had anchovies to throw around. So
I hope, I really, really hope we keep these through the summer. I really hope we do. Because if you all want to see something cool, if the yellowfin tuna come up here, if you haven't seen this before, it doesn't even have to be alive. You just throw an anchovy in the water and watch what happens with the yellowfin tuna. They go absolutely crazy. Like when you throw in a scoop for a calico bass, now think of that being yellowfin tuna. They go crazy on it. Or if, I don't even want to say the word, but those other type of tuna we haven't seen in 400,000 years come by, same exact thing. So I really, really hope we keep these anchovies throughout the summer.
Yep, it would be wonderful. It would be super cool to see this bait. Well, John Stanley or Jason Cutter, they're not calling in. We're just going to go show some pictures of what happened yesterday on the Clemente, on the halibut derby. We got some photos of the gang out there fishing. Let's check these out. So let me see what I got. Here's the group. There was 12 or 13 of them. Here's some halibut that were caught. Jason Cutter, nice halibut.
Is that Brian next to Jason?
Yep, that's Brian. Oh, John Stanley, we woke him up. Good morning, John Stanley.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
Did you just wake up, buddy?
I was up a little bit ago.
Okay.
I did have a good night last night after we got back in. I went back and watched the show that we missed yesterday.
Oh, with Mikey?
Yeah, Mikey, he's a local legend here. He's a good dude. La Jolla could be empty today, and then Mikey will post a video, and it's a parking lot tomorrow. That's what it's like with him.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was fun to have him on the show finally, and thanks to guys like you and Matt Ryan and Arnie and Tim Ogilvy, everybody pushing to get him on there. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. So tell me about yesterday. I'm showing some pictures. I see Jason Cutter there with a handful of money. What happened?
Well, we all went out Dana Wharf yesterday for the halibut derby. And Dana Wharf is pretty cool. So you're getting first-class treatment there. I mean, those guys, the crew, they'll do everything from rig you up to bait your hook if you let them. So this is a real good crowd. We went pretty shallow. This is the shallowest I've ever fished on a sport boat. We're right out there in the lineup with the surfers. Someone even caught a surf perch. That's how far in we were.
Wow, cool. Yeah, that pipe down there at San Onofre that we talk about on the game plans every week, that place is money. Obviously, he wanted to get you in there. You just got to pay attention. It gets a little surfy in there, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, he did. He took us in there, and he told us that when they bite, and it's going to shut down, and they're not going to until they do again. And that's kind of how it was. It happened twice. Let's see, for the derby for the day, 2 members won in place for that. So the big winner was Jason Cutter.
Yeah, it was pretty cool stuff. And who all was on there? How many members?
Let's see, there was me, Tina, Lisa, and her dad. Her dog, he's so fun. There was Brian Sawicki, hope I'm saying it right. Brian Carter. Double D's was there. I met Jason Cutter for the first time, and it's so cool still meeting more people that putting a face to a name, because there's so many out there. And You know, you created a website, but you really created more than that, Dave. I mean, you've created friendships, bonds, camaraderie. This community that you talk about it's a real life living thing. I mean, there's people out there that their lives are different. And they hang out with people because of this, and it's so awesome when we're talking about trying to do another trip, like an overnight island trip or something. So Brian was talking about like on the Fury. So hopefully we can get that going for summer or spring. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Marcus is a friend of ours, friend of the family's, runs the Fury out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, and we would love, maybe we'll do a group trip. Maybe we'll get 20 members and we'll go out on the Fury for an overnighter. That would be fun.
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for, because it's fun when the whole group on the boat, you know them all, everyone's having fun, and you have to worry about, you go out on a sport boat like overnight, you have to worry about your gear and all your stuff because everyone's cool, everyone's friends, and it's just nice that way.
Absolutely, John Stanley. Well, you and Tina, you guys had a phenomenal cruise. It was fun hanging out with you down here in Cabo for a couple days.
Yeah, I see us coming back down there just to go there for sure.
Yeah, you guys had a good time. Thanks for mom taking you guys all on that cruise. What a fun time to spend with the family, right?
Yep, do it every year.
That was cool. You guys were on that boat for a long time. I couldn't believe it. Every time I'd look, you guys were in another port doing some more fun stuff.
Yeah, that was a long time to be out there for sure. But I recommend it because when we got back, all the work stress and everything, I don't care about anything.
Yeah,
at
buddy.
At least right now, who knows when that will kick back in, but it definitely did some good.
Probably Monday morning.
Hey, John,
Probably
what depth were you? Were you like 15, 20 feet?
So far.
John Stanley, did you hear Justin?
No, what was that?
He asked how deep were you guys fishing inside there on the beach?
Man, it might have been like 10 feet. it was so shallow. You drop it down, boom, there you are.
Yeah, that inner pipe down there at San Onofre, Justin, gets all the way into 14 feet of water. It's pretty crazy.
Damn.
It was like I said, we were right there. You look to the left or right of you, and there's a lineup, people surfing.
Back when that power plant was in operation, that inner pipe there's where they would kick the fish out because they would suck a lot of fish in to cool the power plant, and then they would kick those fish out of that inner pipe. And oh my goodness, that was such a great place. But the fish still remember it. They still hang out in there hoping that someday they're going to kick some fish out of there. And then lo and behold, there's John Stanley's bait.
Exactly. Oh, and Tina caught, I guess, the last sand bass ever to be seen on the trip.
Oh, that's the elusive sand
How big was
bass.
it?
It was actually, hers was pretty good. It was definitely legal size.
So you kept it?
It wasn't the only one. There was other ones.
You
as
kept
well.
it?
I don't think she kept
I was
that
gonna say,
one.
dang, now they're extinct.
Yeah, well, there's one out there, so you have to go to Dana Wharf if you want to catch it.
He'll be making the rounds. He'll probably come down to San Diego for a few days and go up to Northern California. That little one sand bass left in the ocean will be everywhere. Well, John Stanley, we got this big Fish and Game Commission meeting on the 16th and 17th. Hopefully you and Tina got the email from me. Bill Varney sent the email to me yesterday, so we quickly put together a group email. We sent it out to 5,000 people. Hopefully you guys can all join us on that meeting on the 16th and 17th, whether you're driving in your car, wherever you are, jump on your phone, participate on the Zoom meeting. Just be there. If you have nothing to say, just show them that you're there. If you do have something to say, like we always say, John Stanley, write it down, right?
That's right. That's what I did.
Write it down so you look professional and you don't get all tongue-tied and angry like our little buddy did.
He's going down there.
Yeah, he's going to be at the meeting, so they ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh my God.
They ain't seen nothing yet, but we'll all be watching from the privacy of our own homes to see what goes on there. It's going to be unbelievable, the amount of people. Hey, Madden's back. All right, John Stanley, you have a wonderful day, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, I just want to say one thing real quick. Afterwards,
yes.
A few of us, we hung out at Turk's afterwards, and had some eat and had a drink. And that was a really fun part because we're all talking about, well, how did you come across your saltwater guy? How did you become a member? I mean, it's pretty neat how everyone has a different story, especially Brian, the way his connection is with you and Pablo. So Pablo, we ended up telling Pablo stories and some Dave stories. Nothing we'll say here, but it was just really cool. It's very bonding.
Well,
thank you for that.
Thank you so much for being a good friend. First and foremost, a good friend, and then a loyal member for sure. But we all became very close friends because of this silly little website I created out of nothing.
That's right. It's more than a website. Know that.
It's family, buddy. That's for damn sure. Family. All right, John Stanley. Thank you, and Tina. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks.
So we're going to hear from your buddy Pablo here in a minute. Madden, what are you doing?
Are you wanting to go fishing?
Trying to get Daddy off the show?
Do you even have a fishing pole?
Yeah.
How many?
None of your business.
None of my business? All right.
None of your business. None of your business. None of your business.
There's something I was going to say.
Pablo, are you calling in?
Daniel.
What are you doing?
There's something I was going to say, but I totally forgot.
Jason Cutter. Oh, we got big news here. What's going on, Jason Cutter?
Hey, what's going on, Cap Dave? Hey, Justin.
Hey, how are you?
Good morning, buddy.
Good. I'm in the Home Depot parking lot. I'm doing Saturday morning chores and doing that whole routine, but I wanted to call in real quick.
Oh, nice. Thank you very, very much. Did you have fun yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was a great time. I've never won a jackpot. I basically have stopped paying into them on the regular trips, but to be sociable this time, I threw down a little extra cash and ended up winning, and that never happens. So the wife already claimed the money. She's taking my daughter shopping this afternoon, so that's gone. But it was fun.
Oh, yeah. You guys had a blast, right?
Yeah. So both the legal halibut bit. If it wasn't the same drift at the same time, they were very close in time in proximity, and then it was kind of a slower day. But then the short halibut started biting again in the afternoon, and so that was promising. And then people were picking up sand bass seen throughout the day, and then I think Brian Carter, I think he hooked up on a leopard shark. I didn't see it, but I saw the action going on the other corner of the boat. So it was good times. I think the key was, and this is just me, it's just what I did, was the stinger rig, because personally I saw 4 or 5 people bring out baits that were all raked out right on the tail. So, and then I saw Brian's post that he caught his on a stinger rig as well. So maybe that was the key that day. I don't know, but I remember Bill mentioning it the other day on the show. So I was like, okay, I'll get the stinger rig.
Yeah, that's definitely a Bill Varney little secret there that he shared the other day on the show for sure. And did you catch it on one of your grunion that you caught?
I did. Yeah, I did. I caught it on one of the grunion. And like John was saying, that's as close into shore as I've ever been on a sport boat. I mean, you look to your left and the surfers were lining up, down the beach. So I think they were probably – so the grunion are going to run this weekend, right? So that's why we were pushing so close to shore. And, it was on one of the grunion for sure.
That's such a great story and such a great deal because you made those videos for us showing you catching the grunion, then taking it on the or the Clemente, and then going out and catching the jackpot. Yeah, there's something to that grunion, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's just kind of easy to use too. You're not chasing bait around the bait tank, but I think Brian caught his on the anchovy as well. So the anchovy obviously work as well, but I thought, why not use some of the grunion?
Yep, you guys did a great thing and showed a bunch of great stuff. Thank you very much for representing me and showing up on the family operation there. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, pretty cool place, right?
Yeah, and it's so for some reason I always thought it was a little bit further away from me, but I'm really kind of right between San Diego landings and the Dana Wharf landing. I can kind of get to both at the same time, so I think I need to start fishing out of there a little bit more, especially when you're driving up the 5 at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. I can get there super quick. It's not that far away from San Diego, North County, San Diego, if you live in that area.
And the most wonderful things about Dana Point is literally after you leave the bait barge, you could be fishing in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that is the other cool thing. It's you don't have a long boat ride. So I mean, even on like if they advertise a 3/4 day, I think your line's in the water probably more than some other boats if you're going on a full day.
Yeah, because you don't have all that travel time. In San Diego, it takes you from the landings, it takes you 40 minutes to get to the ocean.
Yeah, for sure.
Once you swing by the bait barge and then get out there, now you get in the ocean. Now you got to travel to wherever you got to fish. So, yeah, it adds a lot of extra stuff. So if you haven't checked out Dana Wharf Sport Fishing and Dana Point Gang, give them a look. Go check it out. It's definitely worth it, right, Jay?
Yeah, for sure. And the parking's easy. I mean, the parking's plenty of parking.
And then when they get that new Don Hanson parking structure done, it's really going to be convenient.
Jason, Brent wants to know, are you going to go with him to go get grunion tonight?
Me?
Yes, I've texted Brent several times, and he's ghosting me at where to be and when, and maybe he'll reply to his text.
Oh, there you go, Brent.
Yeah, you can't talk to him, Brent, if you don't answer your phone.
Yeah, no, I got a laundry list of honeydews today. If I'm a good boy, I should be able to go grunion hunting tonight.
All right, cool. Well, go get your stuff done at Home Depot. Thanks for calling in, letting everybody know what a fun time you had yesterday. And we're going to take a call from Pablo now. So see you later,
See you, Jason.
Crazy. Hold on a minute. This young man wants to call. Where's Ryland?
Let me get him.
This guy wants to fight Ryland.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good. What's happening?
I guess there's some yellowtail biting right outside your harbor, huh?
Yeah, there sure is. Steve Duncan went out there and freaking whacked a good one, just following the simple, game plan that we put out. And he just, you got to sometimes throw the book at them to get them to go, but he did exactly that. And right in the zone where they're supposed to be, he landed a nice 41-pound yellowtail.
Oh my gosh, that's an unbelievable fish right there, right out in front of La Jolla, right?
Yeah, right there. And exactly. And it's super close. And like I've been saying in my updates is, they're there, and they're not going to just go for one method. I mean, we have to basically do whatever we got to do to get them to go. And a lot of times we've been getting them trolling. And all kinds of trolling. You either make your own mackerel, slow troll those, slow troll sardine, or troll something like a deep diver, at a higher speed, and you just keep doing your loops there on that fathom spot that we always talk about, and you'll get them. You'll get them. I mean, they're not thick. Like you're not going to get one every 5 minutes, but when you get one, the nice thing, it's a home guard, and they're usually over 30 pounds.
Yeah, 41-pounder. That's a beautiful fish. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's all about switching it up, because we had Mikey on the show yesterday and he fished all day there on Thursday and he didn't catch one. Steve Duncan the day before caught a big whoppers 41-pounder. It's just about being there and just being there. Mikey doesn't give up. Steve Duncan doesn't give up. You don't give up. It's all about just being there. Like Pablo said, you might not get one, but if you do, it's going to be way worth your time and your effort. That's for dang sure.
Absolutely. And the good thing is just to keep doing it, keep practicing. If anybody needs any help in that zone, call me up. Obviously, Mikey knows that area good. And I know that area really good. That's my backyard. So, yeah, I mean, they're there. You just got to work hard. And there's all kinds of other stuff out there. We got those halibut starting to show up a little bit too. So, all kinds of reefs and structure, and you can do everything right there in La Jolla or really nearby.
Now all
yeah,
we
the
need
best
is
thing-
that we just need that wind to stop blowing.
Yeah, looks like tomorrow is going to be pretty decent. So, actually, Bugman, we were talking. He might come jump on my boat, and we might go tomorrow. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Gonna go look for him again.
Good. That'll be fun. That'll be make some good videos, some good content. We'll be all standing by to see what happens. Maybe you guys could go live for a little bit tomorrow, Sunday. We usually don't go live on a Sunday, but if you're out there, that would be cool. And just like Justin, that's on here right now, and Al and Pablo, these guys have plenty of openings and plenty of opportunities for you to get out there in between this hurricane. And it's the month of April. Historically, the wind always blows, but I would try to get on these guys' calendar sooner than later because there's a bunch of fish here. It's just getting fishing between the weather, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of windows, and you can't just go off of what the one report says. You got to look and you got to do spot forecasts because there's all kinds of little pockets where there's no wind or very low wind, and the best thing to do is to contact me or anybody else, Justin or Al, and talk to us directly because then we could find a good weather window to get you out there and really increase your chances.
Absolutely. So give everybody your number here real quick.
Okay. Yeah, get a hold of me at 619-431-3070. Yeah, get a hold of me, and if you're a Saltwater Guide member, I'm going to always take care of you a little bit better than if you're not a member as far as price-wise goes. Everybody gets the VIP fishing treatment, but you get the backstage pass if you're a Saltwater Guide member.
Thank you very much for that, Pablo. Have a great day. Tell Kate we said hi, and I'm excited to have dinner with you guys at the CCA dinner.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for that. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, Pablo.
Pablo, have a great day. See you, buddy. So, Justin, we got about 12 minutes or something, and you got to get those boys. They're itching. They just came back in there. They want to go fishing. So they help everybody out here, which is really unique and really kind of sad to be perfectly honest. Justin has no trips. He has a trip in June. We were talking. You guys want to get out there and go do stuff. Hey, are those thresher sharks still an option up there?
They're always an option. The threshers are here year round. So it's always an option. But what's really cool right now is we have some really big halibut biting not too far from us. So the halibut are biting. Thresher sharks are a good thing to go for. And also, obviously, April 1st is going to be rockfish season. So I'm going to be putting together some open party trips throughout the entire month of April. So if you want to get on these, I'm going to do just for April only, it's $200 per person. I need 4 to go. $200 per person. We're going to do a combo.
Wow.
So we're going to go for either thresher sharks and then rockfish, or we're going to go for halibut and then rockfish. So
nice.
It'll be a lot of fun. It's about a 6-hour trip, right around there. So it'll be a lot of fun. So I need 4 people to go at $200 per person. I was looking at looking at the weather as Pablo was talking, and I'm going to make some predictions for this year.
Okay.
I personally think the albacore are coming. And if you look at the weather pattern, I know I don't want to jinx it. I'm very superstitious, anyone that knows me. So if you look at the weather pattern, what's going on right now, there's a lot of northwest storms that are coming with a lot of wind force. And all that force is going to push all that northern tidal movement down where the albacore are. It's going to push it down towards us. So I really think they're going to come here. Now, are they going to be within 50 miles of shore? Probably not. They're going to be a little bit further out, maybe within 60 to 100 miles of shore. But I really think they're going to come in this year. The other thing I think we're going to see a lot of this year is white sea bass. Because if you notice in the past, whenever there's a northwest push, like it is right now, and it's that colder water, it brings all those big class 40 plus pound white sea bass down here as well. So I really think we're going to see a lot of white sea bass this year, and I think we're going to see some albacore as well. So, which is really cool. And it's already, 50 degrees, 52, 54 degrees in the water. It's pretty dang cold. It says this is normal though. Well, I don't know if it's normal. It is normal. Everything's just normal, right? We go through hot water cycles. We go through cold water cycles. So right now we're going through the normal cold water cycle. And I really think we're going to see that. And another question really quick I had for Dave and Bill. Remember back when, I don't know how many years this was now, we used to go to the mussel farm off of what we call the Madonna, the power plant. We used to go to the mussel farm out in front of there, and it would be wide open, April, May, wide open, big white sea bass. Remember that? April, May, June?
Bill?
Good morning. Happy Saturday to y'all.
What do you think of what Justin's talking about? You're an old timer. You've been around a little bit longer than I have. This cold water, this white sea bass Justin's talking about.
I always think about the same thing with fishing. First of all, that we commonly overthink it, but more importantly, the fish are basically looking for food, looking for current. That's what their life is. They're not like gathering together and starting businesses or going to football games and things like that. So when it comes to areas like that were once really good areas, like the sand bass area up in the Isers and places like that, I've really got to believe that in large part their food moves to a different area, or they find a better area for food. And so their numbers dwindle in those areas. I don't think that it's that they've been overfished or that they've seen too many lures and they're not going there anymore. It's just they found a better deal somewhere else. So if you're shopping at Safeway and you like to drink apple juice and it's $5 a bottle, but they sell it at Vaughn's for $2.99, you're going to go to Vaughn's. So maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Grossbeck told me for years they follow the groceries wherever the groceries go. Justin, I know you want to get down there and go fishing with those boys. If something exciting happens down on the dock today, fill us all in later. But give everybody, there's a lot of people that are not members watching. We got a huge audience this morning, which is pretty exciting. Let everybody know how they can get a hold of Justin Botrell to get out there. $200 to go fishing for the day with the chance of a thresher shark or a halibut or a bunch of rockfish. You're not going to find a better deal than that. This is a smoking hot deal, and it will be over at the end of April. So give them your number.
My phone number is 951-703-9442. And all the tackle and everything will be included as well. And for the white sea bass,
you just got a whole bunch of new tackle.
For the white sea bass, I don't think that they cut them all. No way. They move. They migrate all over the place. I was just thinking maybe this cold water, because back then when they were loaded up there, those big, they're like 30 plus pounds every one of them. Back then it was colder water, so I'm wondering if this colder water will push them back over here again. I don't know. I'm just hoping for the best, right?
Yeah. Well, very likely it might push that food, their bait back, their forage back over to where it was before, and then they'll load up there. I think so much of it has to do with water temperature, because whether it's sand crabs, because we see sand crabs like in San Diego, and when the water gets too warm in El Nino, they actually migrate north, and they're farther north than they would normally be in these really big numbers. So everything like in the anchovy, all that, it all migrates north. So when that cool water comes down, they can come back down and settle into it. I don't know if you've seen some of these recent, I don't know what they're called, but photographs of all of the plankton and stuff in the water in Southern California. It's much more now than it was last year. So that really does pretend that there's colder water here.
Yeah, I did notice. It's funny you mentioned that, Bill, because sometimes I'd go out there and certain times of the year now, I used to dig up sand crabs, the big ones. I used to dig them up over in Huntington Pier all the time, but it'd only be within a certain month. And then after that, it seemed like they moved, and I never understood it, but you summed it up perfectly. They migrate.
They migrate. And what's really weird that most people don't realize is that the surf fish that feed off of those also migrate. So if you're a small perch, you're really not going to migrate that far. But if you're a 15-inch perch, 16-inch female, you could migrate 100 or 200 miles. Now, Corbina are really well known for that, and very few people know that. So you go up in the end of September, maybe the beginning of October, Halama, all the way up by Vandenberg Air Force Base, and you can catch a Corbina up there. At that time of year, it's like really good at Carpinteria and Santa Barbara and stuff. You go up there right now, you might see one, you'll never catch one. But down in San Diego, they're catching them all over, and they're getting them in the South Bay. So as that cold water moves up and down the coast, so do the fish.
Yeah. Very cool.
Did you guys see? John Stanley told me about this, Bill. This is Dana Wharf Sport Fishing yesterday when they got in on the boat. This angelfish was swimming around the boat, the Clemente at the dock. An angelfish in Dana Point Harbor in 52-degree water. This is a tropical fish.
See it again?
Wow.
Holy crud.
So that's...
Yeah, John Stanley called me last night and said, hey, they caught an angelfish on the Clemente. I didn't see it, but well, there it is, gang. On the dock, it was swimming around the boat at the dock, Bill.
That is wild.
Crazy.
But you know, you guys, we have all seen these things. I mean, I remember back in probably 1982 when I was lifeguarding East Beach in Santa Barbara. I was like one of the last guards closing the tower up or something. And I look out in the water, nobody around. And there's this big thing out in the surf, which is small there at the surface. And I ran down to take a look at it. It was like a 400-pound turtle. So you never know what you're going to see out there.
Dang.
Well, we talk about it all the time on our game plans and stuff, gang. There's no fences in the ocean.
No.
So whatever swims in the ocean can be here. It could be there. It could be anywhere. Like Bill said, it follows the currents and the swells and the food, and you just don't know what's going to be out there on a daily basis. And that's another reason why it's going to be imperative. And thank you, Bill, for sending us that email last night. And we've sent it out to all 5,000 of our members. We want to make sure that every single one of you attend this fishing game meeting on the 16th and 17th. It's time for we the people to take the power away from those 5 people. You guys don't understand. There's 5 people deciding what you're going to catch or where you're going to fish or where Justin's going to hunt or where Bill Varney's going to get a sand crab or how many grunion Jason Cutter can
One of them had a chance time, sometime or another, to go fishing, but they didn't.
But the boat broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they were hanging their hat on. Well, this one time we almost went fishing. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? And it's time, gang, for us to wake up. We the people. You're going to see less and less people involved in this closing of the fishery now that they've taken all the NGO money away. And they have. That's why everyone's running around screaming and yelling and act like a bunch of fools, because they don't know what to do. All that free money that they've been leeching off of you and I and Bill's taxes, it's gone now. It's time for we the people to stand up and take back the United States of America. We the people, gang. So let's make a massive showing. Bill, Varney, Justin, Pablo, Al, Sonny, and myself, we're going to sound this alarm now right up. And I know we took a week and a half, 2 weeks off after the sand bass thing. We're going to talk about it every day on the show. And I want you all to understand, Bill Varney's going on vacation next week. So he will not be here with us on Wednesday for the show. And he's talked to his members, and he's going to not be doing the game plans on Thursday, but he'll help you out if you need help while he's on his big vacation. But just understand, Bill will be back the following Wednesday. So just understand, maybe I'll bring Chris Dunn in, the weatherman, to explain to everybody why the wind blows every April. Historically, Bill Varney, Justin, myself, we can tell you, you look at last year's game plans, the year before, opening day of rockfish always gets pushed back a day or two because of the wind. April, the wind blows. It always has. It always will. There's no way around it. And this year it's going to blow a little harder, Bill. explain to everybody it's a cold water cycle. You got that cold, like Justin was saying, blowing down from the north.
Absolutely. Well, you've got this core, it's really interesting because we're making this transition from El Nino to La Nina. And what's so odd about that this year is, first of all, these storms earlier in the year, you guys remember they were dropping out of the Aleutians over Hawaii and then coming straight in. And we're still having a little bit of that. Now we're transitioning into this northwest coming down. And what we've seen in the west, which is really interesting, is we've had as much or more precipitation as we would normally have, but the snow level has been much higher. So like up at Mammoth right now, Crowley Lake is completely ice free, but there's tons of snow at Mammoth Mountain for skiing. Here in the Rockies, it's the same. There's a basic drought going on in Denver where there's been very little snow, just a few inches over the winter, but there's feet of snow up here. So this is this transition now we're seeing from that, warm water to the cool water. And it does kind of seem like it's going slowly. If you guys remember back about 10 years ago when we had the last La Nina where it was 54 degrees in August at the water in Huntington Beach, it was so cold. That was like overnight that changed. So it's interesting, this transition we're seeing. And that's why, Justin, I think I'm not supposed to say the word.
Everyone doesn't like using the word.
Those those A fish are on the outside. They're somewhere west of us where the water temperature is just what they're looking for. And when the California bite changes, they may come into here. We have a really unusual circumstance where we have storms from the northwest and storms coming up from South Pacific. Places like off of Chile and Antarctica, New Zealand over the winter. We've got like 3 more in a row coming up over the next 2 to 3 weeks, which will push that warm water north. So who knows what's going to happen?
Well, we're all going to be here to find out what's going to happen. We got Justin with us, and I know you want to get the boys down there fishing, Justin, but Bill and we talked about this on our show Wednesday. I know you were out with Paul. You might have heard a little bit about it. Bill sent me a terrifying map. And Justin, you're big time hunter, outdoorsman. This wolf thing is the most unbelievable thing. This is another reason why we, the people, need to wake the hell up, gang. These environmentalists are out of their ever-loving minds. So they took monsters, literally live monsters, and put them in Colorado. They're surrounding Bill Varney's house.
That's not just it, right? I mean, Colorado's Colorado. I feel sorry for you out there in Colorado because it sucks. I don't call them monsters. They're a nuisance, dog. The thing is that a lot of people aren't talking about or didn't hear about is they're releasing them in California, and it's going to be the gray wolf. They're already doing it. So their comment on it was, well, these are captive born, raised in captivity, so they're not really a big nuisance for humans. No, that makes it worse because a kid is now going to be a meal is what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And California isn't known for their big populations of deer like Colorado, or big populations of elk, or big population of antelope or pronghorn. They're not known for that. I mean, California has that stuff. And if you know where to go, you can shoot one. Good luck ever getting an elk tag. Well, now really good luck ever even seeing an elk. Because if they're releasing all these frickin' dogs that are a nuisance and they're big on steroids like a sea lion, you have seals, the beautiful little seals, which are equivalent to like a gray fox. And now you have a sea lion that they pumped with hormones and everything else to make them big. They're ferocious. They're crazy animals that are destroying everything. That's the equivalent of a wolf. Okay. Now these environmentalists are taking these wolves and raising them in captivity to then release them in the wild. So that means they're pumping them with hormones, same sea lions. Get it? Pumping them with hormones, pumping up with all this other stuff where they'll never die. And now it's a superhuman dog that's going to be out there eating everything. It's not good. Oh, well, they lived here before. There's a reason why they don't live here anymore. They couldn't handle it. You got to let things go. You have to. Everything is cyclical, like Dave says. Things will die off. Things will come. Look at the dinosaur age. Why is there no more dinosaurs? Well, they couldn't handle it. It's what's why. There's a reason for everything. Are we going to be here forever? Probably not. But then after us, there's going to be something else. Okay, everything is cyclical. Everything goes and comes. You have to let it be. You can't be doing this and killing off everything else. You have to let things be. Just like I read yesterday, there's a big movement for these green huggers, tree huggers, that are trying to save all these mammals, sea lions, and everything else off our coast because of biomic acid or whatever the heck it's called. Oh my gosh, everything's getting sick. We have to save everything. No, there's a reason for it. Let it be. It has to die off. Everything is cyclical. There's a reason for it. Let it be. It's human nature. It has to be. It's nature.
Well, the reason why the wolves aren't here anymore is because they don't live with humans. We eradicated them on purpose because, once again, I'm going to try to explain to you guys, we the people, no matter what you all think, yeah, animals are bitching. I love animals. They taste great. I have an animal right here on my shoulder. We have a bunch of cats in our yard and in our house. We all have dogs and we all have all kinds of pets. A wolf is not a pet. The reason why the wolf was eradicated in the United States of America is because they don't live with people. They don't live with people. They eat people. They're not supposed to be here. That's why we eradicated them. Now, to reintroduce this thing is the most lamest thing in the world. But why are we talking about it? Because in California, they're on a mission to stop us from fishing. I just want you to understand, these are the same people that are reintroducing wolves to California, to Colorado. They reintroduced them to Aspen. That's an adult Disneyland. Now you put monsters in Aspen. But gang, this is why you guys got to wake up and be a part of this meeting on the 16th and 17th. For no other reason than just to show them, if you're afraid to talk in public, if you don't want to talk, Bill and I are cool. And Justin, we're cool with that. Be on the Zoom call. Be there. Don't raise your hand. I understand you're afraid to talk. Or write down a sentence that you want to say. One sentence. Say your sentence and get out. But be there. Help us to stop this madness. And this is all done by the NGOs. It's all done by all these emotionally charged human beings that don't know anything about going outside, don't know anything about fishing, don't know anything about what they're closing, and they've had free reign. They've owned the Lion Media. What do they call it? Legacy Media. They've owned that for a very long time. They've owned our tax money. They've been stealing our tax money for a very long time. Now, you guys, 96% of America is totally into what's going on right now. We got to quit focusing on that 4% that's raising all the havoc and burning down all the plants and causing all the mayhem. Those 4% don't matter. The people that are here watching this show right now, it's time. It's time for us to take back the United States of America. We the people, gang. We the people can change this, but we got to show up.
Absolutely.
Right?
We have to be there. The only way that we have a voice is by being there. And when people speak, that's excellent. They really get to hear, with their own ears, the opinion of what anglers think. And of course, as you often point out, Dave, talk about democracy, there's 5 of them. And then there's 1 million fishing license holders. And I don't know, Justin, I haven't counted. I could go look at the numbers, but if you add up all the hunting license owners, you got 5 people representing basically 2 million people. Seems unfair to me. So it's great to speak if you can, but what is most important is that you're on the Zoom call and they can see the massive numbers of people on there. That's what really helps them to know that, wow, this is a really important subject.
I would really like to see in these meetings, these are commissioners, right? They're higher up than us. They're higher up than everyone. They're the ones making decisions. Mm-hmm. I personally would like to see them take things serious. Mm-hmm. If you notice that whenever they're up there talking, oh my goodness, I spilled coffee on myself this morning. Mm-hmm. I really don't give a rat's ass what you did. We're talking about you guys trying to take away fishing. Let's talk about that. Let's get serious for a minute. Oh, so Joe Schmo over there, or Casper the Ghost, wants to get rid of fishing where you can never keep a fish again. Okay, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think? No, how about you ask serious questions? Why do you want to do that? Where is the studies behind it? Where is the science behind this stuff? How about they start getting serious up there instead of just saying, okay, that sounds good.
That is exactly right. These are not serious people. You know, whether you're running the country or a business or a corporation or making decisions for the citizens, you need to be a serious person when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You need to be well schooled in what your subject is. You need to discuss it with others, and you need to be open-minded. And you don't need to be talking about the coffee you're drinking or your hair or how you were late today or you missed the bus or whatever their thing is. They're not serious people.
Yeah.
No, they waste a ton of time on those meetings talking about garbage that
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Gang, this is a challenge for everybody. And we're going to talk about this every day up until the 16th and 17th of this meeting. When you guys are out and about in the world, going to the tackle store, going to the bait dock, going to the sport fishing landing, going fishing, ask them, ask the industry. Hey, are you guys going to be at the meeting? Hey, are you guys going to be at the meeting? Once again, I don't hear a word from anybody, from the radio shows that go and the podcasters and the we don't need to mention their names. You all know who they are. You watch them. Have you heard a word out of them about this? Have you heard a word out of the big 5 tackle manufacturers? Have you heard anything? No, because I don't know why, but challenge time. Let's get them involved. If everybody gets involved, we can slow this crap down. We can, but most people, they're not going to say anything. I promise you, this affects my algorithm. This is how I make my living, doing this podcast and posting my videos. But I am on a mission because of great people like Bill Varney and Justin and my sister Donna, one of the greatest human beings on the planet, my brother, that are getting me so involved because of my big mouth and my unbridled zero fear to talk. Everyone's going, Dave, you need to talk about this. Dave, you need to talk about that. Well, I am. Let's challenge some of the other people out there that are talking to you to help us. We got it. All these radio shows and everybody else, they all should be talking about this because we've been beat down for so long, the citizens of the United States of America, by the legacy media and the people that have been stealing our taxes for so long. We don't think we have a voice. But we just found out, Bill Varney and Justin, when we did that sand bass thing, that actually we terrified them. We scared the hell out of them. So let's keep the pressure on. Let's stand up, gang. Please help us. Don't help me. Forget about Dave Hansen. Forget about help yourself. Help your children. Remove head from rectum and get involved, gang. It's over. The days of them stealing all our money and closing all our fishing, those days are over. There was a man, I can't use his video. I don't have permission, but he was at a fishing game meeting 2 nights ago because they want to tear down all the dams. And he was just saying, these people, they're the same 5 people we see every time we do anything. They want to tear down the dams now. They want to tear down the dams. He said, in his words, when they tore down the Klamath Dam, and they lied, and they lied, and they lied, the electricity rates went skyrocketing. These dams create electricity. These people have their heads they don't even know what they're doing, and they're affecting everybody. There he is. Let's do it for Madden. Let's save fishing. Let's save hunting. Let's save the planet for Madden. Forget about Bill and me and Justin. Let's do it for Madden, everybody. So challenge, ask the questions, go talk to the people like John Stanley did right before that sand bass meet. He took the whole day off from his work. Yeah, it cost him money. And he went out there and he went to all the tackle shops and he asked them, are you guys going to be at the meeting tomorrow? Most of them didn't even know that it was going on. Bill?
It is absolutely amazing. It is when you think of this meeting of 5 people, you've got 1 million license holders, right? You've got every tackle shop, you've got all the manufacturers, got boat people, got all these people, and hardly anybody's participating. I mean, if we all participated, there'd be like 1.25 million people on the Zoom call. So it is really mind-boggling that we can't get these people to take enough, a little time off their schedule and look at its item number 24. It's going to be in the afternoon. Just come on at 1 after you have lunch, regardless of what you do, and spend 2 hours of your afternoon saving fishing for the next 6 generations. I mean, it's amazing. What you would rather just like sit at your desk and watch videos on YouTube?
Yes. What I noticed also is if it's those 5 people that are making decisions, maybe we can, I'm going to say it, manipulate them to make decisions. So we want the MLPAs open. This is absolutely ridiculous. If we can get a bunch of people together and we can go out there and film some stuff, we're not going to fish because we're not allowed to. Inside the MLPA, show there's no kelp. Go right outside the MLPA, show there's kelp. Show the fish. I could take the cameras, put them underwater, show what fish are there. Go right outside the MLPAs with actual GPS numbers to show where I'm at. Drop down cameras, show all the fish over there. That kind of stuff. We all get together. We go over to those board people and make what is it that they whenever they try to make these rules, go over there. I don't know what the words are, but we go and make a rule to get rid of the MLPAs. Why? Because the MLPAs have done nothing. So I don't think they'll ever change it until we come up with something, bring it to their attention and say, look, I'm putting up a new law to get rid of the MLPAs. So if we get enough people together, show the proof, because they're obviously not going to do a damn thing. They're just going to sit behind a thing and make fun of each other or talk about how great they look and say yes or no, right? So if we go over to them and say, hey, we need to get rid of the MLPAs because look at what damage it's done already. We need to get rid of the MLPA because of this situation. We want more fish. We're conservatives. We want conservationists. We want all the fish to come back, so on and so on. So if we do that, I think we really have a chance. I really do. I was just thinking about that right now.
Well,
and if David, stand together with all of us standing together and only a couple of them to say no, but all of us say yes, who's going to win? Right?
Well, Justin, Dave and I have talked about this a lot, and I've thought about it a lot over the last 20 or 30 years. What would change this? Because if you think way back to like when we were kids, this has progressively gotten worse. They've taken away more things. Our licenses have gotten more expensive. There's less areas to angle. I mean, on and on and on. So obviously what their goal is and that's why it's not even important that they're knowledgeable about what they're doing, is that their goal ultimately is to restrict fishing to such an extent that it's only in these areas they don't want us in, basically, and it discourages people to do it. So the approach all these years when I've been working on this is that, I'll be nice to them and I'll be reasonable and I'll give them the science and they'll change their mind. Never has worked. So really the only thing that would work, and this is why we would love to have somebody who watches us or a group of people that are attorneys to help us, is that in order for us to be successful at changing this, we need to sue the state of California, because under the California Constitution, there is no question that California citizens, tax-paying citizens, have the right to fish in their waters. And in particular, it says any waters in the state where hatchery fish are introduced to. Well, what can we think of in saltwater where hatchery fish have been introduced over the last 30 years? White sea bass, which we have all paid for, and they're all along the coast. So we would sue the state of California. We would lose to the state of California. We would possibly go to the state higher court and lose there. And then ultimately, if we went to the Supreme Court, we would win. So let's say that we won and we could eliminate all the MPAs and all the closures and get a new commission and get a reasonable body that was representative of everybody. That would be well and good, and hopefully that would work. What would take that down ultimately would be that the state legislature would have to vote by a 2/3 majority to put on the ballot a that would codify the MPAs in California, and then California citizens would have to vote on that, and by a majority that would become the law. So we would have a chance to get rid of it, and if California's came around, we would have a chance to permanently keep it from happening. But going to the meetings and hoping to change these people's mind and thing like that is they'll just what we'll do is we'll end up slowing the process down that it takes for their closure to happen, but ultimately we won't be able to stop the closures, and that's where we stand today.
So that's a really great thing. I think here's how I think, and I don't know, I'm not that smart of a person, but I think that if we come to them in these commissioners with we got to get rid of the MPA, so on and so on, and have someone, I don't think we need an attorney yet. I think we could have you, Bill, because you're a really good speaker, and also Todd Manser and probably Donna Kalis, have them go up there and talk about how we're not for this, and MLPA or not for this, because if we say we're not for this, they're going to, it's a word thing, right? Oh, well, wait, what do you mean you're not for this? No,
right.
It's, we need to reopen this because of the damage it's causing. So the damage that MLPAs are causing, we need to open it because of that. Once we get that step done, after you guys go up there and talk and everyone's standing behind you, because they're only going to have a couple of people say, no, but then we're going to have, your Saltwater Guide put it out there where thousands of people are going to call in and say, no, we need to get rid of this because of all this. Once we get to that step through the legislation or the commissioners, then we take it to federal. And that's where the attorneys come in to make it a law, because then they have to back that law. If they don't want that law, they have to then fight against that law. So I think the first step is going to the commissioners. The second step is getting the attorney to federal, and then they go from there. That's what I really think. We need to have someone who speaks really well and knows how not to, basically how to butter them up, right? Butter up those people behind, oh my God, you look great today type of thing, right? And we really don't care what the hell they look like. But
absolutely.
Go up there and butter them up. Oh my God, you look fabulous today, but this is what we're going to do. I hope you had a great weekend, blah, 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 go to hell type of thing. Butter them up and then come up with this is what we think and what we found if we show proof, because their proof is nothing. They know nothing. Show proof of how the MLPAs are actually causing more harm than good.
Keep it going. Don't stop. I'll be right back.
Justin, the fly in the ointment for them, that is in our favor. And if we had some good management here, we would be able to put this, I'm trying to be nice here, we'd be able to put this into effect. It's the whole process in itself is a crazy process, because it takes all these different pieces of the puzzle for it to come together and them to make a decision. And I don't know, maybe they've already made a decision or not, but if there's some way that we could contact the federal government, get them on our side and say that we want them to take all of the federal money that they're giving. Of course, remember, they just gave $24 million out of the Inflation Reduction Act for salmon studies in the state of California. If we could have them claw all that money back and then have a citizen group with oversight in it be the ones who do this research that we could have peer reviewed and we could review as citizens, and then that research is given. See what is happening now is that NOAA and so forth, who's in bed with the commission basically, and they're in bed with all of this grant money and stuff, we have no control over them. So if they want to close fishing, or they're biased in their opinion, or their scientists aren't that good or whatever, we don't have control. So if we could claw that money back from the federal government and say, there's going to be all of this money that goes to science in California is going to be managed by the citizen group, we could go out and do the science we needed on the sand bass and the grunion and the bluefin tuna and sheep's head and sculpin. And do I need to go on every fish they've cut back on us taking? We could do the science We can make sure it's peer reviewed here by another university to make sure it's no BS, like send it up to Stanford. And then the public could see it, and then it could go to the commissioners, and we could discuss it and make a decision. That would be the best way to go about this without having the money to go sue and get to the Supreme Court.
Yeah. And another thing, while you were talking, I was thinking of this also, because I don't think much, but what would be great right now is to go out and take pictures and videos of this urban runoff that is harming sea lions, because they want to save these sea lions so much. They really need to start taking care of this urban runoff.
Justin, it's crazy. Number one, that is our main issue, right? About water quality and the problem with fish and the biomass. It's all being caused by water quality. Look at what has been happening at the Tijuana Slough now for literally years. Tons, hundreds of millions of gallons of raw sewage directly into the ocean that washes up into California. They had a CBS special like 4 years ago on all the Navy SEALs, because there's a training station by Imperial Beach who've gotten sick down there, and staph infections on open cuts and stuff like that. And they do nothing about it. I mean, absolutely nothing about it. And then they want to take away our sand bass, and they say, well, you can get 5, but we're going to take away 1, and that's going to make everything okay. It's so ridiculous. The Hyperion plant, the plant in Huntington Beach, and the slough down in Tijuana, the pollution that's going to the ocean from those alone is what they should be concentrating on.
So let me jump in here for a minute. A lot of you are making comments and stuff. What we've done by bringing you all into this world and coming into the Zoom meeting and seeing what's going on, it's pulled the curtains back to where you guys can see what's actually going on. Justin's got great ideas. Bill has great ideas. We all have great ideas, but now you get to see what these people that are making all the decisions, what they're all about. Brent Rodriguez, you had a great take on the whole thing. What I would tell all of you to do, though, is to join us on the 16th and 17th. To be involved in this process, to see what the hell is really going on behind the scenes. It'll blow your mind. It'll absolutely blow your mind when you see the 5 people. We don't need to say anything about them. You just need to see who they are and listen to them and watch the process and just go, huh? Because it's going to blow your mind. Everybody that saw it, Bill, during the sand, and Justin during the sand bass thing, called me up afterwards and are going, oh my gosh, thank you for letting us see what the hell's going on. See, the thing is we didn't know because we've been beat down, Justin, for so long, just like you in the hunting and the snaking world and everything. We just got beat down for so long that we were like, we don't have a chance. But now we have so many great ideas, and we have something they don't have. We have knowledge. They don't have any science, Bill. There's no science. They throw that word out all the time. There hasn't been any science done forever. Just go down there, Santa Monica Bay, take a test tube, get a test tube full of water and give it to a scientist and tell them, hey, go analyze this. Their head would explode if they saw what was in the water. Or go down to Tijuana River, or go follow a cruise ship around and watch them when they pump the holding tank. There's no science, because the science wouldn't fit in with the narrative, gang. So we can talk, we'll let them do. There's no science. First of all, they got no money to do science. So there's no science involved. Justin sees it every day. He's on the water every day. Bill sees it when he's at the beach every day. Those of us that are on the water every day, we see what's going on. We don't need some scientist to tell us that the water's a mess and that the things are polluted. And the reason the animals are dying is not because of Bill Varney and Justin going out fishing. It's because of this poison that we're pouring into the ocean on a daily basis. But please just show up on the 16th and 17th. Be a part of this and see what the hell's going on behind the scenes. It'll blow your ever-loving mind. As we pulled the curtain back the last couple months, we woke up. Everybody, there was 150 of us that showed up at that last meeting. Let's make it 1,000 this time. share this show, share that email that we sent out that Bill was so kind to give to me and Elliot last night so we could share it with everybody. Justin, get the
I
hell
just
out of
wanted to
here.
say one more
Go
thing and
take
leave you
those
all
boys
with this.
fishing.
So, the
Yeah,
difference
go.
between them and us? We're always trying to fight against it, but they're bringing the bill to them. What are we doing? We're just fighting against it. We just have our guard up. That's all we do. We're ready. We have our guard up.
Right.
Let's start bringing the fight to them. Let's bring it to them. Let's bring the bill to them and have them have to fight that bill. How about we start doing that? See you guys later. Have a good time. Bye.
Bye, Justin.
Good. Have fun. Have fun. Go fishing with them boys.
Yeah, we're always on the defense. I mean, we're constantly on the defense. And their MO, which is totally effective, is exactly like our current president's MO, where like coming out of the gate, he just had a million things going at once and he could only handle 2 or 3 at a time, although there was 20 things going on. That's exactly what the commission does. I mean, look at what's coming up on the agenda. There are so many things on there. It makes your head spin just to think about one of them, let alone 15 different issues that are so germane like this. So yeah, it's overwhelming. It's absolutely overwhelming. But you're right, Dave, just real quickly. I've been watching these meetings it's been like 40 years. I'd have to go back, but it's been like since the 80s maybe. And I was amazed like the first day that I saw like who was on the commission, because I had gone to seminars at places like the Fred Hall Show, and they'd be like, oh, we're having a long range seminar. And it was like Frank Lopreste, Bill Poole, Renee, these top skippers. And you'd sit in the audience like, wow. It's the icons of fishing. I looked up to those people so much, and you just listened to every word they said because you knew they had so much experience. And then you go to these meetings and you see these commissioners. It would be like going to a long range seminar with the manager and 2 employees from Big Five giving the seminar. I mean, it's such a joke. And that's what, like you said, Dave, it's so eye-opening if you've like never seen it before, and you go, these are the people making a decision? The lady flipping her hair back and having her cup of coffee in her special cup, and the guy who's as white as a ghost who's telling you he's like a big diver, where it must be awfully dark down there. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So we the people. And Steve Duncan, congratulations on that yellowtail. What a spectacular fish. And we talked about it this morning. We talked about it yesterday. And thanks for helping the gang out. Mikey was so stoked to get the information you shared with them. And I know I love you. Justin loves you. Pablo loves you. You're just always sharing information. So thank you very much. And then I saw you on Phil Freeman's show last night. So way to go, buddy. Good job. And we the people need to show up. We the people need to ask the questions. We the people need to ask the questions to all these other podcasters and all these other tackle companies. When you go into Turner's, when you go into Milton's, when you go into Angler Center, ask them, hey, are you guys involved on the 16th and 17th? Are you guys going to be at that meeting? What that they're going to they're not going to they're not going to say anything. First of all, I don't know why. Bill, why?
I don't know, Dave. I have been trying to figure this out for 20 years, especially over the last 10 years. Why? Like, why are they not all jumping on board? I mean, I know there's manufacturers who manufacture fishing products who don't fish. Okay, I get that, and they're out of the loop. But there's a lot of people in the loop. There's every deckhand on every boat. There's every skipper on every boat. There's everybody who works in every landing. There's everybody who works in every tackle shop. And then in addition to all of those people and the boating people and stuff, there's the anglers like us who bought a license, 1 million of us. So where are we? Where are we? And if everything's gone at the end, you only have yourself to blame.
Yeah, and I would love to get Mike on here, Steve. Just give me his number. Text it to me. I'll call him. I'll ask him to come on here. Gang, it's up to you, us, we the people. I'm going to keep saying that until my head falls off. We the people, you need to start asking your friends and family and everybody, are you going to be involved in this? Are you Are you going? Ask the guy on the sport boat you go fishing on. Ask the captain, ask the deckhands, ask those people. They should be more involved than Dave Hansen. They should be more involved than Bill Varney. Bill Varney lives in Colorado. Dave Hansen lives in Mexico. But we care so much about our industry that we're out there banging the drum. I'm spending time on stage at the PCS show. I don't know, Bill and Pablo and Justin and Ronnie V and a lot of our members went around and listened to. No one else talked about it at all. At any of the seminars, no one said a word about it. There wasn't anything talked about it. And gang, that should scare the hell out of you. That should really scare the hell out of you. Why is only one guy talking about it? You know, when the sand bass thing went through that day, and all of a sudden I saw all these people taking credit. Oh, we did it. I was like, I don't care. I'm just glad we did it, that we showed up. But I didn't see any of you talking about it. But boy, you were right there to take the credit. They were right there to take the credit, Bill. It was pretty funny. I just like, gang, why don't you? We're exposing everything. We're exposing everybody and everything. So remember, the next time you tune into somebody else's podcast, or the next time you go buy some, Okuma, one of the driving forces behind your Saltwater Guide and Bill Varney and I. And so the Okuma is involved. They're involved. Those other guys, I don't see nothing from them. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm not seeing this. Whoever the other podcaster guy is, or the radio show that's sponsored by these other big reel companies and rod manufacturers, if they're doing it very quietly so that Bill and I can't see.
Well, you know, one thing's for sure, Dave, is like you can't donate $10, $100, even $1,000 to your favorite organization and think that that's going to do it. You know, it's like the parent who for Christmas, he gives his kid $100 bill every Christmas. He's not willing to go out and find a gift that his child wants and get it. And you know, it's just, the approach has been wrong. And Matt Ryan, I think, said something really interesting and important here. Got to partner with the commercial fishing fleet. And that is so true. There has been this animosity that has gone on between recreational anglers and commercial anglers, which the department loves because it separates us. If we could come together, and then we could come together with all of the licensed anglers, that would show the commission that they're driving all the pro fishing groups together to become one giant voting block and noise block, rather than separating us, because that's what they've done. They've done exactly these politics that we've seen in Washington, where they've told the commercial guys, oh, the recreational guys are trying to rip you off and make laws against you. And then they've told the recreational guys behind the commercial guys back, oh, the commercial guys are trying to rip you off and take all your biomass. And that by separating us, they've had a much easier job of doing closures. So Matt Ryan is right. We need to come together. We need to reach across the dock to the commercial anglers, and we need to say to them, we're in the same boat as you, and we're not going to fight with you over nets or whatever we want. We're going to work with you to get all these things opened up, and then down the line we'll come together between the recreational and the commercial anglers, not commercial and the government, and we'll make a decision on what's fair.
Yep, I'm with you 100%. I feel you. Bill, I want you to have a phenomenal vacation. I got this. I'll take care of it till you get back. Trust me, I'll do a good job on Wednesday without you with me. I'll make sure that it's a good show, and they'll miss you, but they won't miss you that much, I promise.
I know. Don't forget, everybody, Grunion Run tonight, tomorrow night, Monday night. If you have any photos, videos, or just observations, please send me an email. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, gang, take a second of that Grunion Run and video it. Just stop. Take a second, video the Grunion Run. We need 1 minute videos. 1 minute, it's all. You don't need to make a 3-hour video. 1 minute video, put the phone back in your pocket, gather up your 30, and just show everywhere, everybody up and down the coast. Show us your Grunion. Show us your grunion. Yeah, that would be fun. Jason Cutter did a great job. Mikey the other night, San Diego Fish and Sips made a phenomenal video of the grunion, which was really cool, and I used some of it for the show yesterday. Thank you all very, very much for being a part of. Keep your eyes open. We'll share as much as we can about this upcoming meeting. Bill, I can't wait to see how much fun you have on your trip to Mexico.
I can't wait to Florida. I know it should be Mexico, but
I'm sorry, Florida. I love Mexico. I don't even know why I said that.
My brain
Florida,
works
when you
like
go
that
catch your
too.
peacock.
I got
Yes.
some fish killing to do.
Yes, you